Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm talking about 10 common things that anybody can do to sell to the government this year and initially generate at least 100,000 to $500,000. All right. And we're just getting started in January. What's up, everybody? Welcome in to, of course, my live. This is where I love to educate, empower, inspire, and just move people into their next level, especially for those who are high level entrepreneurs. So in today's video, you guys, I'm going to list out 10 things that you can sell to the government, whether there's products or services, or you can do a little bit of both, that will help you generate an additional either 100,000 to $500,000 this year, y'all. And I'm talking about low numbers, right? Of course, you can do a lot more, but this just at bare minimum, if you lock in on these things, you can actually win your first contract this year, and it'll help you get into that multi six figure mark, if not push you into seven figures if you're already there. So if you're just joining me right now, and let me know who you are in the chat, where you're joining in from. But I am Dr. Quantity Irving. I am a business growth specialist. I teach entrepreneurs how to create generational wealth with their business, right? Of course, one of the biggest tools that we use is this money generator, which is contracting with the government. Of course, they make all the money. They print all the money. They never run out of money. And right now, if you're listening to what's going on in the media right now, they're talking about all these billions of dollars that they're getting ready to spend. That's coming down the pipeline. And some of these things that I'm going to share with you guys in this list are some of the things that are actually going to help you take your business to the next level. But it's also some of the things that they are actually going to be funded with this $1 billion new bill that the new president and his administration is getting ready to sign. All right, so welcome in. Hey, Velma, welcome in. Where are you joining from? Let me know. So if y'all ready for this list, of course, type ready in the chat. Let me know. I'm going to be reading the comments. Let me know if you're ready for this. Because I don't know where you are in your business journey, your entrepreneurial journey. Like, you can do this even if you're just getting started. Just know that you're already worthy enough. You know what I'm saying? You're already qualified. All you have to do is really become legitimized, right? Which means that you have to have a legitimate business ready to say yes to an offer that the government is going to be making. And they are constantly making offers for people to respond to on a daily, minute, second. They're already ready, right? Hi, Miranda, you're ready. Just now getting started. So, but I'm going to cover some cool tips of if you're just getting started in business, like what do you need to have at minimum? Some things that you need to prepare yourself at minimum. I'm going to share with you guys that are just getting started. But for those of you who are a little bit further along, like you already have a business, you've been making money in business, you have some customers on a B2C, maybe even B2B level, but you're ready to scale. You've been stuck. You've maybe even tried, to get started in the GovCon space, but it's confusing. There's a lot of conflicting information. There's no clear blueprint. You don't really know where to start. And you probably have looked for some things and you're like, I'm not finding anything. No worries. I'm going to get you covered, right? I have some things that you can go on right now, whether it's your local, state, or even the federal level, and you will be able to tap into these 10 things, at least at minimum, that you can potentially sell to the government and make hundreds of thousands, if not more, this year. 2025 is the day to elevate your business, to come alive, right? All those great things. So I'm going to help you with that. So with that said, let me go ahead and share with you all what I have on my list for number one. Okay. So number one, of course, is one of the most underutilized areas where people just if anything, when you think business, this should be like second nature, right? Number one, the number one thing that you can sell to the government right now are office supplies and equipment. So we're talking about pencil, paper, ink, hard drives, lighting, computers, cameras, laptops, keyboards, like all those things for office supplies and equipment. The government absolutely buys, and they buy it in bulk. So that is one thing that you can absolutely sell to the government right now, and at least make $100,000 per contract, right? We're talking about profits when you're doing that. So if you have a business and your business is like not even making six figures, then look, you need to tap into the things that I'm sharing with you, because this is going to help you get unstuck, because it makes no sense, right? Trust me, I've been there, I've done that. And for about 7 years straight, it made no sense for me to make the type of money that I was making, stuck as an entrepreneur, because there's too much wealth out there for us as entrepreneurs. We just don't know about the opportunities, which is why, of course, I created this platform, is to educate people about the opportunities that I've discovered, because the SBDC didn't tell me about it, the PTAC, Apex, whatever. They didn't tell me about it. I just kind of stumbled upon these opportunities that helped to change my life. And I'm like, hey, I need to be the billboard, the person who shares the knowledge for those who are willing to hear and do, right? Of course, you want to be a doer of the things that I'm sharing with you, because otherwise you're just listening and collecting information, and it doesn't turn into results. So you actually have to implement the things, take the step, do the work in order to get the results. So office supplies. So every government needs basic supplies. Of course, papers, pens, printers, toner, cartridges, all those different things. A potential buyer, y'all write this down. This is a writer downer. The potential buyers, I'm going to give you a potential buyer for all the 10 that I'm going to share with you, is the GSA, the General Service Administration, but also local offices like your city, your ports, your Office of Economic Workforce Development, like your local offices in your city that are city offices. They need those supplies. So go knocking on their door. But make sure when you knock on those doors, you have your business legitimate, right? You have your EIN, you have your business license if it's required. You have already signed up as a vendor for the city's website, on the city's website, to be able to provide these supplies, because then you come knocking at the door, you have something to offer, and you have credibility. But also your federal agencies. So the federal government agencies that you have, which is like FEMA, Department of Defense, the Department of Administration, the Veteran Affairs Department. These are like federal government agencies. They also purchase office supplies. Okay. So number 2, if you're a supplier, type me or drop some ones in the chat. If you're a supplier, you have a business and you provide supplies. But I will say this before I move on to number 2. Okay. If you're looking to sell supplies to the government, you must have financial capacity. Okay. Meaning that, you have, in order for you to be a shopper for the government, you got to have some money, a card, some credit, something to go buy the supplies, mark it up, sell to the government, and get your profit. That's how it works. Okay. So they're not going to give you the money first, have you go shopping for them, and then pay you more than the cost. Like, it doesn't work that way. So I say that because a lot of times people, they just, I don't know why business owners, I used to be one of these, think everything free, everything, the cheapest way, the freest way, the easiest way. Is like, no, you got to think like an executive CEO, which is a whole different mindset. You got to know that you need leverage, right? So whatever you have to do to put yourself in position to go after these 6-figure supply contracts, then you have to figure it out. Like, figure it out by all means necessary. Go fix your credit so you can leverage those personal credit cards. Establish your business credit so you can, go after these business credit cards and business lines of credit. Because if you didn't know, if you set your business up the right way, you can get access to like up to anywhere from 100,000 to $250,000 on business lines of credit. That's cash that you can go take out and really run and operate your business. 0% interest for 18 months. Yes, it's a lot of information, that people just don't know. We just do things wrong. And trust me, I did it all wrong. And I'm just like, oh my God, all these things that I did wrong. I used my own money instead of other people's money. I didn't leverage anything. It's like, you can actually, be making these lucrative $100,000 to $500,000 contracts and end up broke if you don't really understand the money game, the wealth game, and the leverage game. Okay. So, any recommendations on rebuilding business credit? Yes, ma'am. I do. Jacqueline, great question. So recommendations. So I actually have a credit tool. So it's she'sgotcredit.com. I'm going to put it up. I'm going to pull it up on the screen. But if you go to she'sgotcredit.com, I have a credit tool. Let's see if I have it up here already. No, I'm going to create a little tool banner right here. She'sgotcredit.com. So it's a credit tool, right? use or not use, right? She's Got Credit.com is a business credit builder tool where it'll walk you through the steps of building business credit, and it'll get you from the vendor credits to the credit cards to the gas cards, all the way up to the lines of credit and the business credit cards. Now that is the route for people who don't already have like a 680 credit score. If you have at least a 680 to 700 credit score, you could skip building and go straight for the money. Okay. So this is why both business credit and personal credit is important to have simultaneously. But I do understand some people have to work on their personal credit, and until they get there, you can, in the meantime, in an interim, build business credit. Now, if you did it before and you kind of messed up and need to start all over, so who was that said, Jacqueline? Yeah. If you did it before, need to start all over, here's what you can do. You need to sign up for Dun & Brad. Like, make sure that on Dun & Brad, you have the credit, I think it's called the credit builder tool, because what you can do is anything that has derogatory marks for your business credit, you can actually say it's incorrect. Like, you can dispute it, and then they have to take it off. So that's kind of going to reset what the credit bureaus are seeing on the business side. So you can dispute it. And then that's going to reset your business credit history. And then you can go, reapply for some things, right? So you can do that. Or here's a play, y'all. And if y'all listening to me, like, I'm running y'all a play. So I know y'all going to hear these 10 things. But since you're talking about business credit, and I'm like, this is the route I'm getting ready to go, I'm open to sharing it with you all, right? So if you did not know, for every LLC, now, if you're in California, you got to think about where you establish your LLC. And that does so you go to Dun & Brad. Yep. You do it all on Dun & Brad. Yep. So if you're in California, you got to think about establishing an LLC in California. I have 2 established in California. It's not the best LLC, business friendly state, right? However, there are states like Nevada, there's Wyoming, there's other places that have better rules and better treatment for LLCs that are established there. And you don't necessarily have to be in that particular state to set up shop in that state. But here's the thing, whether you're in California, Vegas, doesn't matter where you are. If you, for every LLC that you do establish, you have an EIN, you have your LLC, you have your Dun & Brad number, you submitted your business to the 411, you have a professional website, you have a professional email that directs to your website, like company@xyz.com, right? You have a professional email set up. So once you have those things, and then your business and then you open up a business bank account in that particular state. Okay. Now, for every LLC, your business qualifies within the first 2 years for up to $250,000. So anywhere from $150,000 to $250,000 in business lines of credit, 0% interest. So if you have one LLC, that's $250,000. If you have 2, that's $500,000 that you can use for 18 months for free. If you have 3, that's $750,000. If you have 4, that's $1 million play, right? We're talking about taking the cash out of your LLCs, using it to build your business, pay your team, figure out what coach you're going to have that's going to show you how to multiply that wealth, and so on and so forth, so that when it comes time 18 months later to make payments towards those, $250,000 loans that you just transferred out, you have the money, right? So that's a wealth strategy, of course, that anybody can use. So play the game, while it's being played, before they figure out that common, everyday, regular people are playing the wealth game too. Then they're going to change the rules. Then you got to figure out what the new rules are. But right now, these are the rules, and this is how you play. So how do you, hey, Alicia, good to see you. Hey, Cleo, how do you check your business credit score? So you would check your business credit scores. You can go to Dun & Brad and check your business credit scores. But I would recommend you use NAV. It's a tool, nav.com. It's a free tool. So I'm gonna drop that in the in the banner right here. So nav.com. So I am not affiliated with this company at all. So but I'm just sharing it as a resource. It's free. So if you go to nav.com, they're going to ask you about your business, your EIN, your Dun & Brad number. They're going to ask you everything, or your business address, and it must match how it's filed with the state. All that stuff needs to be congruent. but it'll also ask you your personal, social, and all the stuff. And it's going to show you not only your business credit scores, but it's going to show you your personal credit score. It's going to say when your personal credit score reach a certain amount, you also qualify for the SBA loan and all these other loans and other different types of funding products that they have. So it's a free tool. Go check it out. Definitely check it out. So anyways, so number two, you guys, number two on my list, this is the second thing that you can actually sell to the government aside from office supplies and equipment that this year, if you do these things, you can potentially make anywhere from 150,000 to $500,000 this year. And that's working very part-time. We're talking about maybe 1 or 2 contracts can get you there. So IT services. That's the other one. IT services and like IT equipment. So cybersecurity, cloud computing, hardware such as laptops and servers are always in demand at government agencies. So if you can sell any of those things, like how do I sell those things even if I'm not a cybersecurity person or I don't necessarily sell cloud software? Well, you got to find somebody that you can partner with who is, and then actually go after the contract together. It's all about teamwork. Okay. So those are the things that the government is absolutely buying that can help you, make multiple 6 figures, at least $500,000 at minimum this year. So some of the agencies that purchases IT services and electrical equipment, electronics is the Department of Defense, that's the DoD, the Department of Education for sure, and any municipal governments. Okay, so make sure you check those agencies out and position yourself to actually sell IT services. Number 3 on the list is cleaning and sanitation supplies. We're always going to, as long as there's people in the world, we're always going to have a need for cleaning, right? So of course, because we want our buildings clean, we want our streets clean, we want our cars clean, you want our houses clean. There's all cleaning. We want our clothes clean, our uniforms clean, our buses, transportation, all that stuff. So cleaning is always going to be in demand by the government. So at the airport, when you guys see the cleaning crew that comes through to clean up the airplanes after every shift, so that is actual contract. You can land a contract like that too. So, but there's all different types of other cleaning contracts that you can actually acquire. So, what type of cleaning and sanitation supplies? So we're talking about any green cleaning, energy cleaning, or construction cleaning, right? Demand for office cleaning supplies like disinfectants, masks, and air filters, especially now, even more so when they have all of these new diseases that they're releasing, because these things are not just popping up, right? It's not just popping up. Y'all releasing it and then attaching SARS to it that came way back, in the 50s, 30s, or whatever. Y'all creating these new diseases. And so, but air filters definitely remains in high demand. So potential buyers. Let me see what's in the chat right now. You're in the cleaners, but the service on the service side. Okay, the service side is good too. Yeah, service side, both service side as well as products. Okay, so the potential buyers are schools, federal offices, and healthcare facilities. These are buyers. So whether you're on the service side or the product side, the cleaning industry, you can definitely secure lucrative contracts in. So we have, there's janitorial cleaning on government. Like right now, I've seen opportunities. There's cleaning of parking lot structures. There's cleaning of buildings. There's cleaning of uniforms. There's laundry cleaning. There's vehicle cleaning, like fleets of, cleaning, car wash cleaning. There's all different types. There's upholstery cleaning. There's carpet cleaning. There's all of these different types, service-based, but there's also cleaning, disinfectants, and supplies, and what have you as well. These are all things that you can actually, excuse me. These are all actually things that you can absolutely sell to the government. And at least this year, especially if you position yourself and really focus on selling to the government, this year you can secure a couple 100,000, if not $500,000 or more, to add to your business bottom line. So how does debt consolidation help or hurt you in government contracting? It does not. In a government contracting world, it does not. It does not. In fact, in government contracts, in the contracting world, you don't even have to have good credit. They don't even consider personal credit, good credit. So as a business that wants to create wealth and access and leverage capital, yes, those things that's where it matters. But as a contractor, you can actually come in making zero, but you don't want to come in business making zero, but you can actually come in making zero with a 400 credit score and have a felony background, and none of that matters. So if you could provide the solution to the government that they're asking for, then you can actually get the contract. All you have to do at minimum is have a business that's legitimately structured. That is it. Okay. Thank you, Jacqueline. She said this is awesome information. So, okay, so we had cleaning services. So furniture, right? Y'all, everybody has furniture in their house. Everybody. You got furniture in your house. In fact, I'm sitting on furniture. I'm sitting on a chair. I have a light. I have a microphone next to me. What other furniture? I got a couple couches. I got a couple tables and stuff like that. So furniture you can actually sell to the government. You can sell furniture. Yes, absolutely. So these are all things that you can sell, including like those cubicles, all that stuff they actually purchase. So furniture. Regularly they purchase desks, chairs, filing cabinets, and modular office setups. Okay. So who are the buyers? Any military base, sometimes your local regional, general city offices, state offices as well. So everybody has furniture in their building. Whenever there's government, there's definitely going to be a building, right? And in that building, they need the basic supplies, which is furniture, lighting, water. They need all these basic supplies. So yes. Somebody walking by my door talking hecka loud. But yeah, you can sell that furniture to the government. So number 5, y'all ready for it, is medical supplies, right? I know that there's a lot of medical assistants out there, a lot of people who are therapists, a lot of small business owners who provide medical services, but also you are in the field and you know where to get medical supplies. So things like gloves, thermometers, first aid kits, all of this stuff is needed in healthcare facilities, as well as with emergency response units. Okay, so you could be a supplier of all these things. You can also think about blood pressure cups, heart monitor, cups, the stethoscope, I think that's called. The stethoscope. It's a really hard word to pronounce, but y'all understand what I'm talking about. The thing that you listen to the heart with, that thing right there. So that's a medical equipment. Okay, so all those different things. So who are the potential buyers? Veteran Affairs, FEMA, local hospitals. So Veteran Affairs, FEMA, and your local hospitals. You can sell medical supplies too. So these are like, I'm giving you all ideas so the light bulb can come off of who you can actually sell to, right? Not only what you can sell, but who to go to sell it to. But I'm also sharing with you like how to set your business up. And if you're getting in the products game, how to leverage other people's money so that you're not missing out on the sideline watching other people get wealthy because they know the money game, they know the credit game, they know the leverage game, and you don't. You're just thinking about what you don't have and your limited revenue, right? Or income or access to capital. You can fix all of that. Play the game. You got to get in the game, okay? Do your coaching programs offer payment plans for coaching? Yes, Jacqueline. So to an extent, yes. Great question. Yes, to an extent, yes. So if you're interested in learning about our coaching program, you definitely want to book a call with our team. They'll walk you through what we have and how we can help you. And we do, to an extent, have some coaching payment plans for our program. I'm looking for the link for you to, I'll drop it here, but it's $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com. I haven't posted that in a while, but I'll put it up here. So $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com. So I'll share it here on the screen, $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com. It's an application process. So you have to complete an application so we can know how we can help you and what we can help you with. Like we do so much to help people. Even if it like finances is an issue, like we do our best to see how we can help you. Even if your credit is stuck, we refer you out to a person that we know can help you fix that in a very short time frame so that you can come back and get in the money game. Like there's all these different moves that we help people play if you want, but it's only for high level people who really want to get unstuck and who really want to create and generate wealth. Okay. So you would submit an application, book a call with our team, and they can walk you through that entire process. Okay. So you're welcome. So medical supplies. Okay. So number 6 is uniforms and apparel. So y'all got to think about it. Who is supplying the police their uniforms? Small businesses. And the crazy thing about it is, especially where I live. So in San Francisco, when small businesses open up storefronts, let's just say a clothing store. within 6 months, 12 months max, that clothing store is going to be out of business. Like it's just the way that it is. It's because, people are shopping online now, prices is through the roof now. It's crazy. Your overhead, especially in certain areas, it's hard to keep up. It's like you have to really have a marketing game plan and have a way to really generate, audience and people to come in to buy, shoppers, right? But if you have a clothing store and you play this game and also like leverage government contracting, you got to think about, well, you could sell the uniforms to the police because they, as you can see, think about how many police officers are in your city, then your region, then your state, then the CHP, and then the ambulance, right? The people who drive the ambulance, and then the firefighters, the uniform. It's still in the clothing industry. It's just about how you think about it, right? So police departments, firefighters, military personnel, they all need standard uniforms, even all the way down to the transportation drivers, like the bus, right? They are all wearing uniforms. Nurses, they all wear scrubs. These are things that you can sell to the government, but you can also sell to hospitals. So who are the buyers of uniforms and apparel? Department of Homeland Security, your local law enforcement, your local hospitals, as well as defense contractors. Okay. So security guards, security companies. Like if you think about like all the security companies and they are businesses, right? You could do a B2B thing and provide all the security uniforms, especially if you're in the clothing industry or apparel, or if you just have that money leverage that because you built that business credit, you could just do it just because you have the capacity to do it and you're a small business. You can get that contract. Okay. So uniforms. Then number 7 is construction and maintenance services. Construction is always going to be around. We're always going to be needing new infrastructure, rebuilds, housing, development. They're always going to be building parks and communities, areas. They're going to be building up all the time. So this is never going to go away. Okay. So construction and maintenance services, agencies often need repairs all the time, renovations, routine maintenance for their buildings and the infrastructure to be built. And when you think about it, when they're building out this infrastructure, it's not just a GC. The GC coming with the electrical person, that's a small business. With the sheetrock person, that's a small business. With the concrete pourer, that's a small business. With the person to provide the construction supplies, that's a small business. With the people that are staffing, that's a small, small business. And then the PPE gear that they're wearing, that's a small business opportunity. All those different things is ways to connect. So who are the buyers of construction? Department of Transportation, military bases, airports, public schools. These are the people who are doing construction in your town, in your city, in your region, and also your city as well. They're doing construction. So all of those heads are actually looking for small business owners to provide these supplies and services. Okay. So number 8 is food and catering. As long as there's people in the world, everybody needs to eat. You got to eat to survive. Now, are we eating the right things? Now that's a question. No, we're definitely not. Like I'm educating myself most recently of like all this poison that's on the shelf. And I'm like, it's stuff in the ingredients that I cannot even pronounce. Why? Because they're chemical based products. It's gone through some type of process where so the food can last longer, and all of that stuff is killing us, y'all. It's like if you see obesity is high, we all obese. I'm only 170 pounds. I'm 5'6", 5'7", and that's obese. Like most people will be like, you slim, you skinny. But when you go to these other countries like Europe and China, they're like, to them, we are obese. And the reason why is because of these preservatives that they're putting in our food, all that stuff. But anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. But it's of concern because people are dying earlier. People in their 40s and 50s having massive heart attacks. They're having strokes, just old people stuff. Like, what you talking about? That's old people stuff. A friend of mine from high school had a massive heart attack in her 20s and died, but she was overweight, but these are the things that, going back to the Bible said, Jacqueline said, eating your fruits and vegetables, we got to go back to fruits and vegetables. Nobody likes vegetables. We love fruit, but nobody really likes vegetables, but we got to educate ourselves better. We got to do better so that we can preserve our lives and really just be here, because there are some people who have done studies on food in the US and how it's killing us. These diseases, and it's fueling the pharmaceutical the industries, right? People are getting rich off us eating the things that we shouldn't be eating, that's killing us faster. So anyways, but in the meantime, until you stop eating that cake and eating that iodized salt and that granulated sugar, which means that it's going to kill you down the line, right? You can sell things, food to the government. So the government buys events. They use food and catering services for events. They buy training programs, of course. In their training programs, they want to feed the people. The military bases require catering and meals prep services. When the soldiers, the army, people are going out for services, they have meals, that a small business owner can provide. So I seen a contract. One of my clients actually had bidded on a contract for meals, like meal plans for, I think it was like the Navy or the military or one of them. And they're like, we need, for this one day, we need like 150 meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we were looking for something for vegan people, but also just people who eat regular meat and vegetables or whatever. So those are hundreds of thousands of dollars in a one-day meal plan. So you can sell food and catering services to the government, but yet we have restaurants that have like 2 and 3 people coming in. The overhead is crazy, right? No, it's like certain areas don't have the foot traffic. So it's like, if you have a brick and mortar restaurant and you're not in an area where people just naturally, organically walk in, because of your location, to like at the airport, you know what I'm saying? Which is also a government contract, then, you're in business to get out of business, and it's only a matter of time. So it's like, you got to be more strategic. But while you have that brick and mortar, you can also have a contract with the government, and that could be your bread and butter to keep your doors open for the community or whatever. So food and catering services, definitely. Who are the buyers? Department of Defense, FEMA, always, and the USDA. Okay, the USDA. That's the Food and Drug Administration, I think. USDA. Okay, so that was number 8. Transportation and vehicle maintenance is number 9. Excuse me. Transportation and vehicle maintenance is number 9. Okay, why? Fleet management services, vehicle repairs, spare parts are always in demand when it comes to the government. Like, just imagine if you just spared parts for government, like that extra seatbelt or bolt or tire, or the nuts that go on the tire or something. I don't know, wheels. I don't know. You got to be creative, right? But they're always in demand, right? What do you call the timing belts? For the engine, the fans, the radiators. Do they still have radiators in cars? I don't know. When I was in my 20s, my brothers taught me how to change my own tires, how to put antifreeze in the car, how to check the timing belt, all that stuff. It's been years since I've done it, and how to check the radiator and put water in it and all that stuff. And so I'm like, do they still have radiators in cars? I don't really know, because I don't have to do those. I don't have to do those things anymore. I look at the husband, like, I shouldn't have to lift the hood. I'm not gonna lift the hood, right? And so before it was the husband, I'm looking at my brothers like, my oil need changing. They like, okay, sis, jack it up, Oh, they do. They still have radiators. Hey, I'm just like, really, I don't really know. I'm a fish out of water. But good to know, right? So that's good to know. So transportation and vehicle maintenance, they definitely need that. So who are the potential buyers? The United States Post Office for vehicle maintenance, transportation services, the state transportation departments, like if you're in California, Caltrans, Amtrak, BART, SFMTA, like these are transportation agencies. MARTA, if you're in, I think Georgia, the MARTA, they have like, the subway, I don't know what it's called in New York, like those transportation agencies. And then military vehicle fleets, the military vehicle fleets. Okay. So 9 is transportation and vehicle maintenance. And number 10, the number 1, which is like my number 1, and it is like a no-brainer for Almost anybody can teach these things. So training and consulting services. If you have a business and you know your business, you're a consultant. You can consult, right? So training and consulting services. Why? Because the government buys professional development. Can you teach someone how to wake up, have a morning routine, how to create goals and achieve them, how to create action steps, how to think better, how to feel better, how to think positive, right? How to be fair, how to relate to others, how to be sensitive, right? To the other people in the workspace, how to respect other people's space. Like if you could teach these things, because we're teaching these basic things to our children, right? These are basic things that we've learned. You can also teach them as a consultant to the government and potentially land $100,000 to up to $500,000 this year, teaching that same thing that's common sense for us, right? So professional development, leadership training, and consulting services are specific, and it possesses, of course, these are the needs. These are common needs. So potential buyers, who are the buyers? The Department of Education, the Department of Labor, and military academies, okay? The Department of Education, Department of Labor, and military academies. So the government buys training and consulting services. So what can you sell to the government, right? So great thing. Like I share this story all the time, but I have a client that started probably about, I want to say it's about 18 months now, about a year and a half ago. She became a multi 7-figure earner through government contracts, just learning the process. She's, I coached her, consulted with her, and it didn't take her long. It took her like 5 weeks really to land her first lucrative contract for a day. And then she's gone on to land multiple 6-figure contracts and now multiple 7-figure contracts. And y'all want to know what she teaches? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I know, like, that's the topic of discussion in the White House right now. But you got to think about it. Before it was called diversity, equity, and inclusion, it was called affirmative action. Affirmative action went away, but the subject matter just became known as something else. It became diversity, equity, and inclusion. So even if they are talking about doing away with the terminology diversity, equity, inclusion, there's always going to be some type of inclusion equity program, right? They're just going to name it something different. So regardless of what it's called, if you have a training or a program or some type of framework around teaching people how to be fair and to share, then you can sell that to the government. Okay. So will your NAICS need to reflect consultant? Yep. So one of your NAICS codes definitely needs to reflect consulting. So regardless of what industry you're in, you're selling clothes, you're selling food, you're selling IT services, you're selling janitorial services, selling trucking, does not matter. That is your primary code. Everybody needs to put a consulting code, management consulting, right? Code on your registration for the government always, because that makes when you open up your opportunities to become a consultant, you can consult them on how to eat right. You can consult them literally on how to pray. Yeah, did y'all not know? Okay, so I'm bidding on a contract. It's due in February, and it's for chapel services. Am I a chaplain? No, I am not. Am I a Protestant? No, I'm not a Protestant. And then the other is like Episcopal, I think it's called Episcopal chaplain services. Am I an Episcopate? I can't even say the word, right? Am I that thing? No, I'm not that thing. But guess what? I'm a consultant. And as a consultant, I can go find the person that can do that thing. And then I can sell that thing to the government while they do the work, and I can get paid the profit. So that's a little extra, little bonus right there to let y'all know. But yes, absolutely. Is there a need for consulting and janitorial, like on the side of how to clean properly? But like just put a consulting, put like management and consulting, and then there's a general other consulting services code. And then yes, there will be opportunities. There are opportunities for you to consult the government on how to properly clean things. So let's just say post-COVID or during COVID, right? They had consultants come in, not only with equipment and services, but also with educational knowledge on how to clean the surfaces to minimize like the transference of COVID during that era, right? So thank you so much. My cage code? Oh, what you need my cage code for? I don't know that. I don't know it offhand. Yeah, but thank you so much for sharing. Love my videos. Awesome. Okay. Cage code doesn't tell you anything. That's I don't know what you need that for. But if you want to share yours, I can share with you offline what you can do. But I don't do federal stuff. I do state and local, so a cage code is irrelevant. But anyways, so we have outside of that, two tips to get started. Okay. Now we talked about leveraging other people's money. We talked about the 10 things that you can sell to the government to start making money in this particular business. But also I'm going to share with you, like I share with you who the potential buyers are. So you have an idea of like who to go to sell these things. We talked a little bit about NAIS codes, of course, and how consultant codes kind of help you expand your reach and opportunities. But here's some tips to get started before we go, right? If you are not already registered on sam.gov, you must have a business first, okay? You must have the things, the business, the EIN, got to have that stuff first. If you're not already registered, I recommend that you go get registered, sam.gov. That's just a step. There's many steps in this game, okay? It's just a step. Do not make the mistake of thinking because you're hearing everyone say go sam.gov and that's just it. That's just the step all. That's not the end all, right? Because there's a state and local. Most people focus on state and local. That's where I focus primarily on state and local contracting, okay? But if you want to get into the game of federal, state, local, of course, the first step is, of course, get registered in SAM. Then you can get registered with your state. Then you can get registered with your city and county. Obtain necessary certifications. There are some set-asides right now as we speak. These set-asides are still relevant. So the set-asides are, if you're a veteran, you can become veteran certified. If you are a minority, you can become minority certified as a small business. If you're a woman, you become woman certified as a small business. Now, go check with the Veteran Administration or the SBA on getting federally certified as a veteran. For the state, check with your state. For minority status, check with your state, but you can also go through a third party called National Minority Supplier Diversity Council. So look that up, National Minority Supplier Diversity Council. So you can look that up as well. And then check with your local city and county for certifications. They have local certifications. Sometimes it's called emerging business. Where I'm located is called the local business enterprise, but other people have the SB, small business, or emerging business or whatever. So it doesn't matter. Check with your city and see what type of certification they have for small businesses so you can get your foot in the door. Okay. So that's just a step. That is not the whole piece of the pie. It is a step towards getting qualified so that you can actually be in position. Okay. And then bid strategically. Step 3 is bid strategically. Of course, you want to know how to market to bid. You want to know where to find opportunities to bid on. You want to know how to price, partner, profit, all those things. How is your bid going to be profitable? All those different things. Great question. So out of those 3 steps, if you're already registered somewhere, local, state, federal, whatever, if you already have some type of certification, whether it's a federal certification or a minority certification or a woman certification, some of these things you can do today and get today, especially if you're in California. It's like a one-day registration, okay? And you would go to the Department of General Services for that if you're in California. But depending on where you are, you just have to Google state small business certifications and then get yourself in position. So as far as the bid strategically, there's a lot that goes into that. You got to know how to read it, understand it, create your checklist, comply with it, understand how to have your meet the capacity, meet the demand, build your team, do the pricing. All of those things we're going to be sharing at Winning Government Contracts Live in Dallas, February 14th through the 16th. We're doing that live for people who have already started the first 2 steps. Like, you're coming in the room and you're biddable, which means that you're qualified to actually bid. We're going to walk you through how we've helped people win multiple lucrative contracts in the government contracting space. We've helped people win federal contracts. We've helped people win local, city, and county contracts, as well as helping people position themselves to win state contracts as well, right? So we have some of our clients are going to be there. That's going to share their testimonial of how they have won contracts. But most of all, it's not just their testimonial. It's like the journey. That is where you get the most gems. The journey of failing. It's like you can learn so much from other people's mistake and how they learn from their mistakes, so much more than hearing their end result. Like you can learn just so you can know how the switch in thinking, like how did they think, differently? What did they do? How did they come up with that idea? Like, you can learn so much from other people. So we're gonna have some of our clients in the room that's going to share their journey, and overcoming the hurdles that they had to come, how they had to switch from the what is it called, self-employed to business owner, how they had to switch from selling services to selling solutions to the government, all those different things. Okay, so anyways, Winning Government Contracts Live is in Dallas, Texas. This is where we're doing our event. It's a 2.5 day. We're going to show you how to price, how to profit, how to partner, how to connect with the decision makers. We have lists, a whole bunch of lists of, like, there's thousands of government decision makers that we have, that we're going to be, sharing with the people that are in the room, so that you can get unstuck in your GovCon journey. So join us live, winninggovernmentcontractslive.com. Tickets are on sale right now, but the event is around the corner, February 14th. So they're not going to be on sale for very long. We're going to be shutting this site down, very soon, so people can have time to plan to be there, get their travel arrangements in place and all those different things. So if you want to be in a room, you have a business, you have something that you believe you can offer to the government, or you've already tried this thing, and it has not worked for you, because when you look at these RFPs, RFIs, RFQs, solicitation, sources, you're lost. You don't know what to do next to actually get a win. Or maybe you've thrown some stuff like spaghetti at the wall. You're like, it didn't stick. It's not sticking. Oh, it don't work, right? We're going to show you why what you're doing doesn't work. And we're going to show you how to do the right thing to make it work, so that you can actually grow your business, significantly this year, 2025. It is the year, of course, we're helping people grow, just raise the roof, right? Raise your financial equity. Okay. So are you ready? And if so, join us at Winning Government Contracts Live, y'all. I hope this has been a very valuable training for you all, you guys. Let us know if there are any topics additional, to what we're sharing with you that you love to hear from. My team will be checking, of course, the comments, so we can know how to bring more value to you, to help more people, so that we can all rise together. In 2025, it's going to be a year of prosperity, a year of, just raising the roof and transformation. So if you're ready for it, join us at winninggovernmentcontractslive.com. And you guys, I'll see you then.